vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news, got his ear to the streets, and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average, quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames, and too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel, so hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Poon Sauce? Alright, guys. It's that time for Dan's Dad Joke of the Week.
What is going on, Ohmies? Dude, you don't wait long enough, Dan, because I always unmute myself first. But of course, we are back for another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. I think we're on episode 44, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, you know, nothing better than Ohmies Day, aka Ohmies Monday. And as you can see, we got a couple special guests joining us tonight. You know, a little last minute. So huge shout out for these guys for being able to just kind of get their stuff together and come and join us tonight. But of course, we are joined by over on this side, Logan Exhales. Of course, you guys can check him out over on SoundCloud, iTunes, and all that stuff for the Rise and Vape podcast. Pretty cool thing he's got going on over there. We actually did a podcast with the Shed Time crew and the Rise and Vape podcast over there, which is a great time. So definitely go check them out there. So Logan, thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And of course, down here in this corner, we got Mr. Anthony Romella in the house, one of our amazing sponsors, of course. So Anthony, dude, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we'll give you a little chance here in a little bit to, give us a little bit of rundown about the kind of the new sponsorship thing we got going with you guys. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for joining us tonight, man.
Oh, I love the show, so anytime I can be on.
All
Absolutely.
right. So we're going to do what we always do, talk about what we might be vaping on throughout the night, talk about like different liquids, of course, showing off our setups and stuff like that. So with that, I'll throw it over to, let's have Oh My Lanta or Oh My Danta or Dan or whatever you want to call him. How about you start? Yeah, the Danager.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, tonight I got the Clutch in. With RDA for vaping, with some Breeze Tone coils, DHD Chop Top, Purple Heart, awesome. And that cracked open another bottle of Bule Bulu, Banana Land, Balabula Bola Ba. I got my Aegis Solo K-Fun 2019, the light. And then I got that peach ice. It's just my go-to salt when I'm at work. And broke it out of retirement. R.I.P. Mark. This is my Warlock's Hammer. Vaping with the Ohmies. Oh My Lanta on the other side. I put the Ohana on top. Pretty sure I got Breeze Tones coils in there with another DHD Chop Top. I don't know which one that is. The Gold Flake one.
That's Stay Gold, bro.
I got the Stay Gold on that. Just went together well. And I was fortunate enough to have some leftover witch's brew, whipped
Yes.
witch. I only have that much left, so this will only be vaped during the show, and then I will put it away for another time. That's what I have. Let's throw it off to Logan Exhales.
Oh, me? Okay. Well, before I inhale, then tonight,
should've waited.
let's see. We'll go with this. We got the Dreamer with the stainless steel Notion switch on the bottom. Goon 1.5 sitting on top with a Ghost DHD chop top, because chop tops are life. In there, I've got some Water Malone mixed up, some 3 milligram Water Malone. And then over here, I've got single topside, OG topside, Citadel sitting on top. Oh, in that Goon, I've got some Twisted Timmy framed aliens in there. Topside, Citadel, and here I've got a Saddle Horse Blues alien. And in that, I've got, I can't pronounce it. I've tried so many times. I mixed up some Sang Pétillant. Pétillant? I don't, it's
Sure.
It's a blood orange champagne, though, and it's fantastic. So
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
and that's it. That's my whole buffet. So
All right.
I will pass it over to Poon Sauce.
What is going on, everybody? I got a few things tonight. First of all, I got my
Ooh.
King of Hearts by Death
That's
Wish.
badass.
Good old Palmas Powder's coating on there. And inside of there, I got some, which one is this? The butterscotch custard from our good friend Uncle Chris.
One of my favorites.
And then let's see, I got my Captain with the blotto, just like my work setup, just it goes with me everywhere. And inside of there, like Dan, I found this in my little drawer. I got some Whip Witch from our good friends over at the Gathering Vapor. And then finally, of course, staying with the trend, I got my Warlock's Hammer with the Turk V2, the FU edition, that with the Blood Money tip on there. And inside of there, I got, this bottle's empty now, but the last of my Twisted Sunday.
Thank God.
Which now the bottle's going to garbage. It's empty. But yeah, that's all I got. What about you, Mr. Anthony Romella?
Well, I'm not like the other guys here because I use tanks. I don't use RDAs typically. So I have my Falcon with this prestigious black Delrin drip tip. And it's
One of a
unconscious.
kind.
Yes,
One of one.
One of a kind. I lost the other drip tip, and like, okay, just shoving this in here so it works. I love the Falcon. I have always been a huge fan of this.
You didn't want to tailpipe it without a drip tip?
I had to do that in the car, and it's not so much fun.
I've had to do it before, and it's terrible. It's the
It
worst
sucks.
thing.
Just
Especially on an
lock it,
RDA.
like, pull it out of your pocket.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, where
Where-
the hell did the drip tip go? So
Wherever
yeah,
would you
that's why
find
I
another drip tip to replace
know.
that one, you know?
The good news is I have plenty of this style right here, so I have no worries about that.
Buy in bulk.
And just like Poon, I've got that Uncle Chris's what is it, butterscotch custard.
Ooh.
And I'm not a dessert guy.
It's
I got this when we hung out with him a few Saturdays ago, and it's really good. Like, I don't do a lot of dessert stuff, and I'm actually sweetening it up just a little bit. This is an oldie. As you can tell, this is a well-steeped bottle, but this is Funkmaster Flakes, which is obviously a frosted flake flavor. But that's it. That's all I'm vaping on today. Kind of short notice here, so I didn't put out a bunch of other things.
Hey,
but
no worries, man. Sometimes simple
Yeah.
and to the point's the way to go. You know what I mean?
I got to tell you guys though, I really like the Shogun. If it wasn't for like the copper like wearing off, because I must have like acid in my hands that just eats off these coatings. I love the resin feel of this mod, and for the price, I mean, it's a phenomenal little device.
Nice, man. Very
And,
nice.
I guess I'm passing it off to you since you're done.
All right. Well, I got a couple things here. Of course, you guys seen this in the cloud check this morning. My Warlock's dagger, of course. Rest in peace to Mark, one of our, like hardcore Stooge crew members. Of course, got the dang on top, which makes this the danger. as I like to call it, because the
dang.
dagger, the danger with a chop top from DHD. It's one of the color changing ones that actually doesn't really color change anymore, and I kind of am glad it doesn't, because it matches this box absolutely perfect. And got some Saddle Horse Blues staggered frame staples inside of this bad boy as well. And let me say, they are just absolutely flavorful with some vanilla custard from Mr. Uncle Chris Overdrip himself. Next setup I've got is my OD Green MDX Unicorn with the OD Green Palmer's Powders Edition Turk V2 and a Get Off My Lawn chop top from DHD, of course. And inside, one of my all-time favorites, shout out to OPMH Project, the Fountain Blast Off. You guys already know how much I love it, and of course they are one of our amazing sponsors. And then last, but certainly not least, busted this guy back out, haven't used it in a while, got the Just Right Edition Knurled MDX 3-in-1 with the FULE Turk V2 and a Blood Money chop top on top, because of course, chop tops are life. And just like Dan and Poon Sauce down there, I got some Witch's Brew in here as well, some Nightshade. This is like a pitch black Mountain Dew flavor, and it's one of my favorites. So of course I'm going to be vaping on that tonight as well. So with all that being said, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the buffets or buffets for tonight. And it is time for that segment that we do at the beginning of every show. You get a little bit of it here now on Mondays. You get a whole, hour, 2 hours sometimes worth over there on Wednesdays on the Poon Sauce McNasty channel. Get a little bit on Fridays with the Angry Hippie himself. But it is time for What's in the News, Poon Sauce. Okay. Yeah, that's right, guys. He's got a bumper now.
What?
Yeah, it's real.
There's bumpers?
Yeah, there's a bumper now, dude.
Oh my God, there's a bumper. Look at that. Damn.
We're official.
That's an old one, dude. Okay. Let's
I had to go with the original one, dude.
Yeah, you got to. So, if you guys have not known, HR 2339 went into vote. It was supposed to be Thursday, ended up being Friday. They voted to vote on Friday, which was kind of like, okay, I don't know. I didn't get it. So Friday, it was passed the House, going by, what was it, 213 to 195. So I would say it was pretty close on passing or not. But now the progress of this bill, it goes into the Senate, which we're kind of assuming that it's probably not going to pass through the Senate. We're not sure. I mean, everything's up in the air right now, especially with there's more president things that are kind of taking place right now to kind of, I don't know if people aren't really focusing on this bill at the moment with the coronavirus stuff going on. It's kind of taking precedent over that. But this being passed brought me into a little statement that the executive office of the White House came out with, which is pretty interesting because there's a lot of different, I don't know, I was really surprised on how they approached this. And I know, Logan, you can probably agree with me on this. That were you kind of, because they're pretty much saying that they don't support this bill.
Yes and no. If you read the letter from Trump's administration, which is just basically a letter of recommendation to Trump to veto this, and here's X, Y, and Z, why. Mm-hmm. Yes and no. They talk about it being, it goes against harm reduction. It goes against the main aim of what they're trying to do, but they kind of dance around some things in there. And they talk about menthol and things like this, but they don't really necessarily talk about flavors and the flavor ban as a whole in that letter. And does it surprise me? No. And kind of yes, only because of statements that Secretary Alex Azar has made in the past.
Uh-huh.
But when we look back and we think, how Trump changed his mind, we know where a lot of Republicans in the administration stand on it now. And this, if you guys remember the whole, I never should have done this fucking vaping thing, that's the whole feel of that administration at this point.
Yep.
It's the whole reason behind Trump's budget proposal to move tobacco control out of FDA into a new created agency. That's the whole thing. Like, it's Does it surprise me? No. And yes. I don't really think there's a perfect answer there.
I'm still surprised overall that they actually had the term harm reduction in there.
Which is like the biggest highlight of that entire piece.
I'm
absolutely
still kind of flabbergasted by that. And I think
right.
they
I
also
mean,
mentioned
you can only
like,
run from the science for so long.
Oh, exactly.
Right? Before they have to admit, yes, this is safer. That's harm reduction. Like you can only run from that for so long. So,
and they also
I think it's like the first stage of them biting that bullet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They also mentioned something that shop owners have been mentioning all along, and that consumers themselves, people who go to vape shops, have mentioned as well, that they shouldn't go out and just straight up remove retail sales from it, but use the technology that is already available for ID checking and keeping it to where
as far as the online sales ban goes. Yeah. They even talk about it, using the technology.
Because most of the websites we use are using that technology already. And it's accurate. There hasn't really been any problems. And they're saying like, okay, this kind of thing's already out there. Why create something else that would just get rid of it directly and put people out of business and just use something that is pretty much doing its job already? It makes no sense. Yeah. So this is something that...
This is government we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
making the sense really isn't in there.
Yeah, that kind of goes out the window.
Their standpoint, I guess. I don't know. But I would say this is if we're looking for little wins when it comes to this industry, I would consider that statement right there. I would consider it a little bit of a win, because
if not a little bit of a win, a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? That you can see that we're starting to make that impact that we've been talking about since all this happened. Like if we continue to keep putting our right foot forward and sharing the right information, like Logan's saying, eventually they cannot run from the science any longer, and they're gonna have to recognize it.
Truth be told, I think a lot of this stems from people in the Trump administration fearing for their jobs, because Trump doesn't want to deal with this anymore. He's made that perfectly clear. He doesn't even want the FDA to deal with this anymore. So there's a lot of people right now that are like, okay, we're just going to kind of go along and play nice and look pretty with Trump here. And I think a lot of people just don't want to lose their jobs.
Mm-hmm. But if you would have gone back around September 11th, when this kind of the shit hit the fan pretty much, and then come to now, and then seeing the executive office of the president come out with a statement that involves things like harm reduction and stuff. And it's just, I would have never expected this, to be honest. But then this still doesn't kind of take away of what's coming in the next 2 months, where if you think about it, this bill doesn't even matter compared to with the PMTAs coming up. I mean, this really doesn't change anything, because 98% of the market's going to be gone once the PMTAs have to be filed. So this is just pretty much a good reminder. Keep going. Keep contacting your representatives. Go on Twitter. Make the hashtag #NoWayPMTA trend like crazy. Tagging representatives, asking them to go pretty much disagree with what the PMTAs are doing, to have them to try to discuss a different way where this can be done. It's pretty much, we need to stay active, we need to stay vigilant, and the fight's not over, not even close.
My best advice to people right now when it comes to what you're doing advocacy wise, stay on top of HR 2339, pay attention to it, continue to write your reps, continue to keep doing what you're doing, but don't prioritize it. Okay. And hear me out, because right now what we need to prioritize, like Corey just said, is we need PMTA reform. Like first and foremost, that's our biggest hurdle, is getting PMTA reform. After that, it's all state and local. Like state and local, we're going to be battling till the end of time, basically. Like that's strap in, get ready. I mean, and I tell everybody the same thing. When I get down and out about advocacy and I want to throw my hands up in the air and I want to give it up because it drives me insane, I think of cannabis activists who have been doing this for decades, 80 years in this country. Yeah, decades. And we're just starting to see pockets of legalization around the country. And it's just starting to kind of come more towards the federal level and things like that. Decades, guys.
Yeah, nothing.
We're not going to fix this
like
tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to send your last email next week. Like,
Yeah.
strap
This
in.
is an ongoing
We're going to
thing.
be here for a while.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth everything. But yeah, I think PMTA reform and state and local stuff is a much bigger hurdle right now than HR 2339. Because like you said, this passed the House, sure. And if you break it down by the numbers, it was very Democratic. Republicans voted very heavily against it.
Right.
Like 22 people didn't even vote. Like, why are we paying these people? But it'll move to Mitch McConnell's desk, where it is going to sit amongst 500 or something other bills and gather dust and probably not see the light of day. And then if it goes to the Senate, if we look at the House and we see how heavily Republicans voted against it, we have a Republican-controlled Senate right now.
Mm-hmm.
If they vote similarly, it'll die there. I don't foresee this thing getting a super majority. I don't foresee it getting.
I think this
2/3
is going to
vote.
die in the Senate,
They're
to be
wasting
completely
their
honest with you.
fucking time.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time. The most plausible situation is that this is going to sit on Mitch's desk until the end of time.
Yeah. So with all that, guys, thank you, Corey, for bringing that up. Of course, there is a link in the chat if you guys want to go check that out and read some more up on it. Of course, I'm sure they might talk a little bit about it more over there on What's in the News on Puddin' Sauce McNasty's channel on Wednesday. So definitely make sure you guys are subscribed over there and hit that notification bell. That way you guys can go check it out with, of course, Puddin' Sauce and my boy Sean Typhon, the Angry Hippie. So with that, what I want to do is take a moment to shout out some of our amazing sponsors. So first off, I want to start off with Rescued E-Liquid. If you guys have not known, they did drop a new flavor, Nico, which is a snickerdoodle custard from the Pack Leader line. So you guys can go check that out over on their site. They also have Mika in that line as well. And of course, you can check out just the regular Rescued line with like Ben, Velez, Vulcan, Vengeance, and all those delicious flavors as well. You can check out their site. You can use the code Ohmies for 10% off of your order, and you can use the code BARK20 for $20 off a $100 order. And of course, huge shout out goes out to OPMH Project. Of course, they have the Fountain lineup, they have the Real Deal Custard, and Watson as well, which is an award-winning tobacco line. So of course, if you guys are a wholesaler or you own a shop and you're looking to pick up or do any distribution, they do wholesale and distribution as well, and you can check them out at opmhproject.com. And of course, since we have the man himself here, I think I'm just going to throw it to you on this, Anthony, and let you tell the people about the new little sponsorship we've got going on.
All right, great. Well, as you guys know, I am no longer with the CBD dispensary or purecbd1.com. Just made a choice to kind of go out on my own. Decided to hook up with a company that I really feel strongly about. They honestly make the best tasting CBD candy in the industry, hands down. I'll put that challenge out against any other CBD company that's out there. I almost want to do like the Pepsi challenge. Let's put yours blind taste test. Try them both, see what you think. They use CBD isolate, which I think is a big plus with that, which is 100% THC free. So there's really no issues there with any kind of testing that you might be concerned about. Sent some to Angela Garrity, and she was concerned about that too. And I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. That is not something that's going to have an issue. What I love about this company is that they started out as a candy company. So they actually made candy first and then started doing the infusion process. So their candy is like above and beyond. The second thing is there are tons of varieties. There's probably 20 or 25 different flavors and styles that you can choose from. So this is a phenomenal product. If you use CBD at all, especially if you're trying to figure out a way to get somebody to use CBD who's never done that in the past and is concerned about an oil or using the flower or whatever, this is a very easy way, especially for older people, just to try the product to see what it does for them. And we're running a special for you guys. There is an Ohmies code on the Texas Candy Caviar website. Get you 10% off, and that's just TX Candy Caviar is how that works out on that. This is like one of the little brochures that I put out there, which looks delicious just because of the brochure.
I just want to eat it.
I don't know if you got the package I sent out, if you guys got the packages yet I sent out, but I sent out a bunch of stuff this last week with different samples in it. So I'm sure you're going to see it popping up on some of the other shows. like I said, no hard feelings with the CBD dispensary. Great company. They have lots of fantastic products. It was just time for me to move on and, do something else, kind of go out on my own. Many of us know you can't get rich working for somebody else. So sometimes you got to just step out there and do something else. But CBD, I mean, I've been in the marijuana industry for well over 20 years, not always on the, 100% legal side of things, but I mean, you understand that's just the way, it is. But I was so excited that when CBD finally, kind of broke through and showed people that you don't have to get high to get healthy. And this is just one of those fantastic products that should be in every shop. So if you're interested, you can always go to the website and take a look at it. And if you have a local shop, have them hit me up. I'll be more than happy to send them some samples, and maybe we can get into your local shop so you don't have to order online.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for that, Anthony. I think you did that better than I ever could. So, of course, guys, go check it out. TexasCandyCaviar.com. Use the code Ohmies to get you 10% off. And like you said, there is plenty of different choices when it comes down to it. Plenty of different flavors. I got a bunch of different sample packs not too long ago. And I got to say, each and every single one of them were absolutely delicious. And they actually work.
Slices.
They work, guys. They are awesome. My
I was
dad's
going to ask, like, which one of your guys, what's your favorites?
See, from one of the ones that I really like are like the watermelon rings. Like, I really enjoy the rings because they're that 25 milligram per piece, so you get a little bit more than you do with the sour bands or the belts or whatever. So I get that little bit more, and I eat like one or two like around nighttime or something like that, and it gives me that real relaxing feeling. It kind of helps with any little aches and pains I might have if they're not like too crazy, of course. And, it's that nice little mellow that I need at the end of the night to kind of help me, shut down the brain here and actually, get a good night's sleep.
Do you like the slices?
Oh, I can eat like a bag full of those.
Yeah, they're definitely good, guys, for sure.
Those samples you gave me, I definitely ate them a bag at a time.
Yeah, that's the one that you got to be kind of cautious about. They taste so good that, you have to still realize it's medicine, so you can't.
I'm like... delicious.
Just sleep really good, and that's the great thing. There's no overdose concern there.
Yeah,
I mean, you eat too many of them, basically, you're taking a nap. That's what's gonna happen.
And it's been something that
sounds amazing.
I've been actually,
can I just eat too many and take a nap because I love naps?
Yeah, because I've actually I've given them to my
for granted.
I've given them to my sister to try because she's has like certain aches and pains that bother her and stuff like that. And I gave her some one day, and she's like, "Man, these things are awesome." So she came to me the other day. She's like, "You have any more?" And I was like, "No, I ate them all. But don't worry, I'll get some more. If you know which ones you like, you can go." I pretty much gave her the whole spiel that you gave her. Once you find the ones that you like, you can always go and get like a big pound bag of the ones that you prefer, and then you've always got like a stockpile of them. I've even had my dad try them as well.
Guy.
Yeah,
really?
the tinctures work awesome too, man.
Yeah, I've always been a tincture guy.
Yeah.
I'm not like one big for like the candies and different things. It's just easy enough for me to wake up in the morning and tincture.
But you can see how that could kind of scare somebody, because there's
absolutely. Like I have nothing against any kind of edible.
It's like a witch's potion or something. Like, okay, who mixed this thing up? And one last thing about this, we have a new flavor that's going to be coming out really soon, and they are Corey will probably like this because they're like the watermelon slices, except they're going to be pina colada slices.
Ooh,
that sounds
interesting.
So completely kind of out of the box, different kind of flavor. We're also looking into possibly doing Swedish fish too. So.
Ooh, awesome. Ooh. So definitely keep an eye out for all that stuff, guys. Huge shout out goes out to you, Anthony, for bringing us on board and kind of teaming up with us on that. So huge shout out goes out to you, and of course, Texas
you might
Candy
be the
Caviar.
one that gets me into CBD gummies.
They're amazing
because these sound amazing.
Like I said, it's one of those things that once you try it, it's over.
Yeah. So
there are a lot of companies out there, but nothing's like this.
I like the ones that you have with
colada ones in the rain, so I can.
Okay.
Experience.
You guys have ones that have melatonin added in too to help with sleep.
Yeah,
right?
actually, every flavor is available with melatonin at no additional cost.
And the melatonin ones do work very well for like nighttime use. And if you're someone that suffers with like insomnia, or you're just like real restless at night, that with that little bit of added melatonin, It really helps as well. It's something that I've actually had my dad try once or twice, and he actually enjoys them. So I'm going to have to get some for him. But what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to go ahead and get into our little main topic for tonight. We were talking a little bit before the show, me, Dan, and Poon Sauce here. And this is something I don't think we've talked about, but I think it's something all of us can get into because I feel like we're all, young at one point and have spent, some time in front of the TV on Saturday mornings for a little bit of Saturday morning cartoons. So with this, I want to know maybe let's say like 3 or maybe even just a couple of some of your favorite like Saturday morning cartoons from when you were growing up as a kid. If there's one that just like jumps out at you as like your absolute favorite, of course, I'm not going to put a limit on here because who knows, there might be like 4 or 5, or you might think of one and one other one pops up. So
I'm gonna go first before someone steals it.
Go for it, Dan.
Motherfucking Ninja Turtles, son.
Dude, you stole mine, you bastard.
Yeah, you goddamn right I did.
Dude.
I'm part of the OG crew of Ninja Turtles. I was around when they was fucking handing VHS tapes out at Burger King,
bro.
All
Secret
right?
of the Ooze. Yeah.
Dude, I went to the first I watched all the cartoons. I went to when the movie premiered. My uncle took me and they had like the green butter on the popcorn kind of thing, or the green seasoning. Like I've seen.
Oh, dude, I knew this was going to be a hit because chat is already, going off with some great ones. But, dude, yeah, Ninja Turtles, I'm 100% with you, Dan. I was, I was a young child, still in, diapers when, Ninja Turtles was the thing, you know what I mean? But I would be sitting there in my diaper, bottle hanging out of my mouth, standing in front of the TV, watching Power Rangers, strapping, what would it be, like a laundry basket to my back as like a shell, I did it all, bandana around the head, that was my shit. I'm pretty sure
4 years in a row I did Ninja Turtles just so I could be each one of them for Halloween.
Dude, I was always Raphael. He was my favorite, hands down.
That's cool, dude. I'm Michelangelo. I love nunchucks. Those were always the coolest fucking weapon to me.
You want to know why I also love the Ninja Turtles? Because pizza, bro. Pizza is one of my all-time favorite foods.
My favorite thing about the Ninja Turtles was skateboarding.
Yes.
Yeah. Because skateboarding was big for me when I was younger, and skating through, I know it sounds disgusting, but skating through full size pipes would just be that just sounds amazing. I don't really want to take my board and go down into a sewer, but clean full pipe I would totally do in a heartbeat.
Dude, I had all the toys, so I loved the.
Do you remember the ones that you would pull down and they would backflip? You would bend forward and they would backflip.
I love I had their van that shot the fucking sewer thing out the front of it.
Shot the manhole covers. Dude, I think I might have had one of those when I was a kid too.
That was one of my favorite.
I remember
toys.
There was a Michelangelo toy that was like a pizza launcher. He had a thing.
Yeah, and you'd throw pizzas out of the box.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that.
Yep.
So, all right, Dan's first one, Ninja Turtles.
You can't beat it, man. I'm sorry. There's great cartoons, but that shit changed my life right there. Man.
All right, so who wants to jump in and name off one of their favorites? Okay, you got one, Corey?
Is it only one right now?
We'll do one. We'll pass it around a couple times.
Okay. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but Street Sharks.
Dude, Street Sharks, bro. Yes, Street Sharks.
Yeah. I don't know what that.
Wow.
It was. Being a little kid sitting and watching full-grown buff sharks eat the crap out of people, it was awesome.
That's in that same era as gargoyles.
Yes.
And Wildcats. Do you remember Wildcats?
Wildcats.
Yes.
Look that one up.
Hold on.
What about
you might remember when you see it?
Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars. That's another one.
Right. Dude, there's all kinds of creepy
era. Yeah.
Didn't they have the creepy crawly show? Because they had the toys that was actually where you made candy, gummy candies, but then they turned it into a show. Remember that?
Shit! I remember this one now.
Wildcats.
You're doing research as we're looking.
Yeah,
as
we're
we're
saying
saying
R&D over there.
Shit.
Yeah, that definitely is in that era.
Oh yeah, that.
Okay,
you can always tell when Corey's involved in a topic because he leans forward, and when he's not, he'll just lean back in that chair and be like,
exactly.
He assumes the gamer position.
when you're done talking about this.
Yep. Exactly. So, Street Sharks for Corey. What about you, Anthony? What would be one of your favorites that just jumps out at you?
I'm so much older than you guys.
No, but this is why I brought this conversation up, because
you got
everybody's
Hulk on your wall. Like, you like the shit we like, so
I'm so much So I have a few, but I'll start out with one of my absolute favorites, which is Transformers.
You goddamn right.
And back in the day, Transformers cartoons were it. I mean, that's all there was, and they were phenomenal. It's like, you failed me again, Starscream. It's just like
I still have the OG. I still have the original cartoon movie, the animated movie.
Optimus Prime. I mean, it was just like those voices made that, and then they came out with the movies and stuff. I mean, it was awesome, and I've been
the original Transformers animated film is amazing.
So good.
Do you know what the universal greeting is? Can anybody remember the universal greeting? I'm gonna really fly my nerd flag right now.
The only one I can tell you is from Rick and Morty, so I don't want to flash that one up here.
Ba weep grana weep niniban.
All right.
Okay, it's underwater, and it's when Kip hands the little energy gum to like the piranha transformers. It's from the animated movie. Go back and watch it.
Awesome.
But the universal greeting is ba weep grana weep niniban.
All right.
Cool.
That's
I found somebody who's a bigger fan than me. Great.
That's pretty good. So with that,
I'm so much older, but see, you don't know what kind of nerd you got in the room.
So I got other ones that I'm holding back that are way back there.
My nerd flag flies real high.
All right. So with that, let it fly a little bit more, Logan. What would be one of your top favorites?
I'm gonna go with Dragon Ball.
Dude,
Dragon Ball Z was my everyday after Nami. It was on Saturday mornings. That was it. Every Dragon Ball Z is like what got me into anime, and it just stands the test of the time.
Dude, I'm totally stealing this one from Glenn. Doug, bro.
Yes,
Doug. I honestly, it's any of those Nickelodeon cartoons from that era were my shit. You know what I mean? Like Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life, All Real Monsters, just
Rocket
anything.
Power, kid.
Rocket Power was
wiggity,
dude. Rocket Power for sure, dude. For sure.
My favorite Rocket Power episodes when they go to the Hawk. They go see the Hawk, and they go to visit Tony Hawk, and it's like different like courses they have to go through. I don't know. I thought that was so cool growing up, especially the one where it's like they're hanging in like the ramps and stuff, and they have to go down to like one little spot. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't quite remember that episode, but I'm sure that's pretty much how it went. So yeah, dude, Doug was like one of my favorites. Anytime he turned into Quail Man, all he did was pull his underoos over his shorts and put his belt on his forehead. Like, dude, instant superhero with his dog pork chop.
Did that for Halloween one year. It was spot on. He was Quail Man.
And Doug's just cool because he's got a best friend named Skeeter.
Yeah,
Skeeter.
Who didn't want a best friend named
Who's
Skeeter?
Blue?
What about his neighbor, Mr. Dink?
Yeah, Mr. Dink.
Hey, come here, Douglas. Let me show you something.
And who didn't love the beats? I need
The
more
beats.
allowance, your lady. Yeah, dude. All day. So, okay, Dan, what would be another one of yours now, man? I feel like we're going to start naming everything.
I'm pulling from chat right now. Ender said, I got to go Thundercats.
Yes,
man.
Thundercats.
was
Oh!
my shit.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
Loved Thundercats. I watched all of them. Fucking Mumra, Cheetara, Panthro. I wanted to be Panthro because nunchucks.
Because nunchucks.
Because nunchucks. Like, I just thought they were the coolest fucking weapon ever. But yeah, Thundercats. I remember watching that Saturday morning. Loved everything about that show. Wanted Lion-O's sword. I like the weapons and just how they were tailored for each person. I think.
And let's be honest, Skeletor is like the best thing for memes ever. Skeletor memes are the best. If you've never gone and looked up Skeletor memes, they're hilarious.
That's
pretty
He-Man.
hilarious.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's He-Man. That's He-Man.
Let me correct.
See, I guess my nerd flag is
Take another one
flying
off
as
the
high now.
list.
Hang on, let me
Get back in your lane.
Half mass, bro. Half mass now.
Half mass.
Yeah.
Sorry, rest in peace. My bad.
All right.
No, like I
I
love
stand by
He-Man
the
too,
statement,
but Thundercats had me, dude. I love that show. That was so cool.
For sure.
What was the cat's name? I know that's a stupid question.
Snarf.
Snark. Thank you.
Yeah, Snarf.
Yep. All right, Corey. What would be yours, man?
I'm gonna go with stick with the Transformers theme, but Transformers Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Beast
I hear
Wars
they're
was pretty
remaking
sick.
it. I
Yeah.
hear they're remaking it.
Really?
Let me just tell you, if
Yeah.
you go to try to watch the old show now,
It was
the
terrible.
effects-
But think about
Oh
when it
my
came
God.
out, and it was like 3D.
It was a
Yeah,
trip
it was
when it
cutting
came out.
Optimus
Time.
Primal, like Rat Trap, like all these. It was so cool. to see.
Cheetor.
Yeah, dude, it was sweet. I really enjoyed Beast Wars. And
Beast
like
Wars
I
was
said,
dope.
when it first came out, just being on TV and it was like 3D-ish or whatnot. Like it was like
It was before its
technology
time.
was like,
Revolution.
Yeah, dude, that
whoa.
was cutting edge at the time, you know.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
but
cutting
he is right though. If you go back and watch it now, you're just like, holy crap, this is crazy.
edge. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Kind of cringy.
I'm with that. So Anthony, what would be another one on your list?
I'm gonna pick Animaniacs.
Oh yes,
Because,
yes.
you know what we're gonna do tonight, Brain. Same thing
We do every day,
night,
Pinky. Take
Try
over the
and
world.
Take over the world.
Yes,
like,
Pinky
I
and
love
the
Pinky
Brain.
And the Brain. Like that is my
Yes.
favorite part. But you know what I miss most of like Animaniacs and shows like that are the theme songs.
Yes.
You don't get those sing-along kind of,
Animaniacs.
you know, and we're zany to the max.
Yeah.
You don't get those kind of songs all the time anymore. And that's something I really enjoyed from like the past. Like every kid could sing the theme song to their favorite cartoon because you've
Yep.
heard it so many times. So yeah, I mean, I've got other ones, but I really like Animaniacs.
That's
and
the
I think they
show
put
that
stuff in there
made
for
me-
adults too.
That's the show that made me like memorize the states when I was a kid.
There you go.
Nice. All right, Logan.
Dot probably had a song about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's tough. I mean, we've named so many now.
Yeah, he keeps calling them out when it's not his turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
everybody
so
else's.
excited. This is so exciting because I love
is.
cartoons and I love anime and animation and like being super nostalgic about Saturday morning cartoons. This is like my favorite thing ever right now. But there's so many. I'm leaning towards Recess.
Dude, Recess
Ooh,
was a good one, bro.
so
Shit.
Good.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Recess. I think
Dude.
that's gonna be. It was. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Recess. That's my pick.
All right. For me, another one that I'm going to say is one that I absolutely loved Saturday mornings, the X-Men animated series.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yes.
FYI, you can watch it on Disney Plus if you do
That's
not
right.
have it. I've actually been going back and watching it and remembering why I loved that show. Like,
You still have your Wolverine poster up?
dude, it's always there. Wolverine's
Okay.
number one.
I
It's
can't
a
really
little
see it in the
it's a
dark.
little dark. Yeah, it's dark in here today. I didn't turn all my lights on. But yeah, dude, the X-Men animated series, that's like what like kind of got me into comic books. It was like I would watch that and then I heard that these were actually, you know, oh, you've seen the show? Well, have you read the comic books? My cousin would tell me that. And I'm like, "Wait, comic books? What are those?" And then dove down that rabbit hole and never really looked back since. But yeah, dude, X-Men animated series for sure would be another one.
Vaping Irish mentioned one earlier in the chat that I completely forgot about even existed. What about Mummies Alive? You remember that one? Where
I
that
can-
animated
I
mummy show?
somewhat remember that one.
I don't
yes.
remember that, but dude,
Yep.
Jay Blaze Coils put a great one in here. Voltron,
Voltron.
Voltron, bro.
The remake's actually really good too.
I heard the remake wasn't bad, but the original was the shit. Like, of course, I didn't like my cousin had all of them on VHS when I was a kid because he recorded them all because that was like his show. And every time we'd go hang out with him, we watch like Voltron and stuff. Like he had the full on, you know, Voltron toy that like combined into like the big thing and then like disassembled into each individual like, you know, Lion, Zord, or whatever you want to call them. That was the Power Rangers before Power Rangers.
I got something for you. Let's go. Okay, so we're talking all old cartoon. Is there anything you watch now
Ooh,
that impresses you cartoon wise?
I got one right now. Clone
I-
Wars. The
Clone
Clone Wars
Wars,
series I'm really into right now. Of course, I've watched a little bit of Rebels too, so that's kind of in there. But like, I really have been enjoying the animated Star Wars series.
Okay.
Like, I've been really digging those right now for sure.
I have one for you. I've watched it with Rowan. It's on Netflix, and pretty much everyone has a Netflix or has someone's Netflix account.
Yeah.
Just because that's how we are nowadays. But it's Tales of the Troll Hunter. I don't know if you guys have seen this on Netflix. It's by
haven't watched it,
DreamWorks.
but,
It's
yeah.
like the same people that did like How to Train Your Dragon. It's called Troll Hunters. There's like 3 seasons of it. It's very, very good. Check it out. If you have kids you want to watch it with, I'll watch it by myself. I love this show. Please check it out.
Speaking of like newer Netflix cartoons, another good one that even I actually really like is the Dragon Prince. Have you seen that?
Dragon.
I've heard about. I've
Prince.
seen.
I've heard
It's on
about it.
On Netflix?
It's really, really good.
Okay.
So if you want another good one to watch with your kids, that one's excellent.
If you want one that you don't want to watch with your kids, Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah,
Big
don't
Mouth
watch
is
Big Mouth with your
hilarious.
kids.
No,
Big Mouth
absolutely
hooked
not.
me in the first 10 seconds of the show.
It's like that and
So
Rick and
good.
Morty. Rick and Morty, you can kind of like,
Yeah.
it's like on the line because there's a lot of like adult
no, this one's
humor
not
in
on the
that.
line. This one's so far away from the
Dude.
line. Like, do not do that.
Still Valley Vapors, Ultraman. Yeah, bro. Yes,
Yeah.
Ultraman. Absolutely Ultraman. 100%.
Any of you guys watched the original Beyblades TV show when you were younger?
That was.
I played
That was
with the
a little-
toys, but I didn't really watch the show.
I think I was getting to that old point where I wasn't watching like anything.
I did watch Pokemon though back in the day.
See, that's the majority of the stuff you guys are bringing up. It's like it's the little beyond when I was
Yeah,
watching
that-
cartoons.
right.
Like I was married by the time
That's
like, a
that's
lot of
when
this
the,
stuff came
that's
out.
when the generational gap begins.
Right. Like, see, because the next one I was going to say is Super Friends. 'Cause
Dude, Super Friends is
still
way
were
before
awesome.
my time.
Yeah, and that was the end all be all. When you're talking about comic books, I mean that's where like a lot of this
The Wonder
stuff, like,
Twins.
started from. Super Friends, because Wonder Twins were on Super Friends. You,
Yep.
you don't even know who Wonder Twins.
What about
even are,
Spider-Man
you
and
know?
his amazing friends?
Dude,
Exactly.
yep, that was a good one.
Spider-Man's when the X-Men series was out. That Spider-Man like in the 90s.
Yeah, because it crossed over a few times
because
too,
that's
which was
on
cool.
Disney Plus too,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've been going through that.
Wasn't one of the
missed
Wonder
that shit.
Twins that turned into a bucket of water?
That's what the deal was. They touched hands basically, and one had to turn into something water based, and the other one had to turn into something animal based.
Dude,
So
Captain
it was like
Planet,
shake
bro.
of-
Oh,
Dude, yeah, Captain
yeah.
Planet's
Oh
the shit.
man, Captain Planet.
Thank
yeah.
you, Irish. That's one that I can't believe I couldn't remember, dude. That was one I used to
Irish.
watch all the day.
Yeah, go on
Irish.
YouTube and look up Captain Planet. There's a pretty funny video about Captain Planet on there. So
Irish,
it's not for kids either.
Irish also said back there Gargoyles. That
Yeah,
was a
you
great
can't.
cartoon. They did so well with that, and I love that show.
Yeah,
That was a good
Legion
one,
Babe
too.
says Batman Beyond. That was another
Oh,
good
yeah.
one too.
I was going to bring that
Original
up.
animated
That's going to be
Batman
one of the
TV show?
best. Yeah.
Dude, there's
Yeah, like
there's a
that
lot
with
of great
Bruce
ones.
Wayne.
But G.I. Joe back in the day, that was another one. Like with
Oh, yeah.
Transformers, it all kind of came at the same time, and that was a really great
I
cartoon.
remember going to Blockbuster, and my mom would let me get one video every time we went, and I would like rotate between like Transformer movies and GI Joe movies, and you know what I mean? Like, I got this one last week. Let's get this one again.
Because you had the toys, and you wanted to see the next thing, so you could
Yep.
play along with it.
I miss Blockbuster.
I
do. I
still
miss-
see the buildings with
Yeah, I
like
really
the,
I miss like being able to rent anything for a week for like $3.
Hollywood Video too.
See, I like the lower level video stores. I always felt like Blockbuster was a little snobby. Like they were just like,
Oh, see, that was to me that was Hollywood Video. Hollywood Video was
Anthony
they
goes
were
to
like
those
the
video
snobs.
stores that have that room that's curtained. for
Hell
X-rated
yes.
movies.
Those are the good video
I'm
stores.
actually surprised no one said Tom and Jerry. No one watched Tom and Jerry as a
That's
kid.
definitely
did
back
watch
in the
Tom
day
and
for sure.
I used to watch a lot of
Yes,
Tom
it
and
is.
Jerry.
Used to love Speedy Gonzalez and his cousin Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Yeah, you
Yep.
said
Very good
Animaniacs. I
fan.
loved Tiny Toon Adventures.
That was a
Yeah.
good one too. And
That
just
was great
just
with-
plain old Looney Tunes back in the day too, bro. Like
when I'm telling you, I never laughed harder than when they did Baby Plucky Duck, and he was like flushing stuff down the
Yes.
toilet or going up and down in the elevator. Dude, I was like turning purple laughing so much. Like, Ducky,
Wait.
don't go down the hole.
didn't they have a Mega Man series too back in the day?
Yeah, they had Mega Man. Mega Man was sweet. You always watched it to see what the new character was.
The only
that he
reason
had
why
to
I said
face
that
with
is
new
because
powers.
Lando said Sonic. And that reminded me of it.
There was an old Sonic that time. Yeah.
So two in chat, Ender's Game had mentioned Ren and Stimpy, which
Yes.
is a phenomenal cartoon.
Definitely
And then I
for
was
an older
wondering if anybody
crowd.
would remember it, but Angela Garrity had mentioned the wrestling cartoon, the Rock and Roll Wrestling, which
Hogan's
was
Rock and
great back in
Wrestling.
the day.
Yep.
If you never saw it, it was Hulk Hogan and like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Andre the Giant and all those guys, but it was a cartoon.
That's
I don't
crazy.
remember that one at all.
So
That was good.
we're running down to about the last 10 minutes of the show here, guys. So what we do now on the end of every episode is we talk about some new songs to add to the Ohmies playlist. Of course, we have one over there on Spotify as well as YouTube Premium. So what we do every week is we all kind of pass it around the room and throw one or two songs of some of our favorite songs onto the playlist, and of course grab some from chat. But this week we're going to do a little bit different when it comes down to that. We actually have a couple that we're going to add on in honor of Mr. Mark Clough himself. So with that, I'm actually going to throw it to Corey to start us off with your first song for this week.
Okay, my first song is by the band Painted in Exile, and the song is called House of Cards.
All right, House of Cards. All right, so Logan, you got one to throw up on the list, man?
Yeah, I'm going to dig back into my roots a little bit for this one, and I am going to say My War by Black Flag.
Ooh. So a little bit of Black Flag on there. I like it. Now, what about you, Anthony?
Wow, you guys always come out with these like awesome, like random ones, and I don't have. I love music, and I'm all over the place with it. I'm trying to think of something that actually like works in line with that. I'm a huge Black Crowes fan.
Do it. I am too.
Yeah,
Throw it out there.
Yeah. So let's do.
Don't give us the normal what's on the radio. Give me Strutting Blues, or you know what I mean. Like, give me some.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna go with another one. It's from a guy called Devin the Dude, and the name of the song is Reefer and Beer.
If you guys don't know who Devin the Dude is, he's pretty legit.
Yeah. Sorry about you.
Devin the Dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a rapper.
It's got one of the smoothest flows. Like,
Okay.
I really like Devin the Dude.
Dan, what about you?
I'm gonna hit you with something I really like. Back in the day, a band called Finger 11.
Oh yeah, I know.
1,000 Mile Wish. I was at my buddy's 4-year sober party this weekend, and he was playing music, and he was playing all the stuff we used to listen to back in our early 20s, and that song came on, and I was like, I fucking forgot about this song and how much I loved it. So I've been on a kick of listening to it. So
What about you, James?
1 second. I actually have to look up the title of the song because I can't remember it. Where is it? Okay, this one is from Frank Ocean. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He used to run around with like Tyler, the Creator, and that whole Golf Wang crew. But there's a song on his Channel Orange album with Earl Sweatshirt, and it's called Super Rich Kids. And it's a pretty damn cool song. Earl Sweatshirt's one of those guys that he's got like a crazy flow that not everybody's, accustomed to, but he just super dope. And Frank Ocean's just like one of those like R&B singers that I'm really into. I dig his style. I dig what he does. And this whole Channel Orange album is just one that I really, really enjoy. Of course, this kind of tells you guys I do listen to a lot of different stuff. I'm not always listening, like some Sublime or like Grateful Dead. I'm like, even as some R&B type stuff from time to time. So yeah, that's gonna be my first pick for tonight. So
Is he related to Billy Ocean?
No relation.
Oh,
no, he jumped out of the dream.
No, Earl Sweatshirt is not Tyler, the Creator. Chad. Two different people. Yeah, dude, agreed. Amigo says Frank Ocean is crazy slept on. He is, bro. Pyramids that was gonna be my next song. I'll save that one for next week. But anyways, who started that off? Was it Dan? Did you start this week?
No.
Oh, it was Poon Sauce.
Poon
started.
So I will go with, hold on.
Dude, I see you, Amigos and Co. I see you, bro.
I'm going to go with a local band to me that kind of got a lot bigger than I thought they would ever go. I'm going to go with Veil of Maya, Overthrow.
Wait, what was
I'd
it?
listen to Veil of Maya.
Veil of Maya and the song Overthrow.
I'm putting these in our little chat thing, so if you see them, and I can get them later. So I'm probably not spelling this right, so you can correct me later. Valemaya, what?
Overthrow.
Gotcha. That's probably not right, but okay.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm typing it as it sounds in my head.
You're so close.
There you go, Dan. That's how it's supposed to be spelled.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next? Let's go, Logan.
All right. I'm gonna switch it up from American hardcore punk rock, and I'm gonna go with a song called "The General" by a band called Dispatch, which is basically.
Is he the one that
other
saves
end
you
of the
money on your
spectrum.
car insurance?
God, I was just thinking the same
yes, actually.
Didn't you
yeah.
go on a car ride with Jack?
For a great rate, you can save some time. Get on the general, save some time.
Yeah, it's a really good song though. But we'll go with that.
Because Shaquille O'Neal needs cheap car insurance.
All right. So who's
You're
next?
not wrong.
I'll go.
Dan.
Okay.
Ooh, it's me. I'm gonna go with Seven Dust, and we're gonna go the song "Ugly."
All right. So Anthony, what's going to be your last pick?
I'm going to go with Outcast, B.O.B., Bombs Over Baghdad.
Dude.
It's my favorite Outcast
Me and
song.
you need to like exchange some music, bro, because like you're hitting me with some good ones right now. I'm actually gonna throw in for my last song this week. It's gonna be from Mr. Vince Staples out of Long Beach, and it is 745. If you guys have never heard that song, it's a pretty cool jam. I love the beat that's going on with it, and just Vince Staples, his flows, another one. You know what I mean? He's a lyricist for sure. So that's gonna be my last pick for the night. So with that, I'll toss it to you, Dan.
So tonight, thank you, chat, for putting all your songs you want on the playlist, but we're going to save those for next week. In honor of Mark, we're going to add a couple of Mark's favorite songs to the playlist, so when you listen to them, it'll remind you of Mark. So we're going to go with Wherever I May Roam, Metallica.
Great song.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had me at Metallica.
And then I was talking with Amy, and she said this was one of his favorite songs. It is John Mayer, Crossroads.
That's a great song as well.
So we're going to add those two for Mark.
And of course, I do want to remind you guys as well, there is a GoFundMe account that is going right now. It's called the Mark Family Relief Fund. There's a link down in the description of this video. If you guys can go over there and just donate, just anything that you can, whether it's $1, $5, just any little bit that you can to help, Amy and their family with, everything that's going on right now. Please take advantage of that link down there. And of course, we did want to say, give our condolences out to Amy and her family. It's been a pretty rough weekend for the Stooge family with all the news that's been going on. And, a lot of tears have been shed and stuff like that. And, a lot of great stories have been shared as well. Like if you want to go check out the Vape Stew that happened this Friday and also the Green Room, there's some great stories and just great memories shared there. And, those are definitely shows that were dedicated to Mark as well as this one here. Because I feel like Mark could definitely appreciate this show as well. I know he was into like his games and, cartoons and stuff like that. So I'm sure he would have appreciated this show as well. So all of our love goes out to Amy and her family. And of course, Mark, may you rest in peace. He's always in our hearts and always with us in our Warlock mods. So of course, if any of you guys out there are vaping Warlock mods, every Wednesday is Warlock Mod Wednesday. We want to see those posts continue to go up, guys, in honor of Mark. So just much love to the whole Cloth family. With all that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show here. I'm gonna go ahead and just open the floor up to Logan and Anthony real quick. I'll go ahead and give it to you real quick, Logan. Plug whatever you want to plug. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got coming up.
Okay. So you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Logan_exhales. I host a podcast with my wife called the Rise and Vape Podcast. You can find that on SoundCloud and on iTunes. We have a weekly episode that goes up every Monday, which is kind of just a news update, and then our patrons vote on a topic for the week. So we have like a lighter last half of the show, which is just kind of fun and random. And then, I do interviews with industry folks and things like that on the podcast as well. So check that out. We're on iTunes. We're on SoundCloud. Other than that, that's really it. I'll pass it over to Mr. Anthony Romello himself.
You can find me mostly on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at either Anthony_Romello or at CBD Candy Connoisseur. I do a Saturday morning show pretty much every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on the NVR network here on YouTube. We do an hour to 2 hours. We just dive deep into a topic about vaping and advocacy, kind of go to the political side of things. The other gentleman that does the show with me, the Vaping Minuteman, has been in the political forum for a long time. So it's kind of nice. I usually am the guy screaming and he's the guy being a little bit more calm because he likes compromise. And I don't want to compromise. So, yeah, you can find me there as well. Frames, I didn't know if you wanted to do a trivia question tonight.
Yeah, let's do it right now before we end out. Of course, one thing I want to mention as well, guys, is how we're going to do this from now on is we want you guys to drop the answers in the comments. So, of course, right now while it's live, you're not going to be able to do it. What you can do is after the show ends and the link goes back up, drop your answer down in the comments. That way it gives the opportunity for even people in the replay to get a part of this, and also gives us a little bit of interaction on the channel as well. So drop your answers down in the comments after this video goes back up. So go ahead,
we'll
Anthony.
Just randomly pick somebody to win.
Yep.
That way it makes it more fair for everybody.
So go ahead.
So this week's trivia question, I pick things for trivia questions you can't just Google because I just don't think that's fair. You got to be a fan. So Frames Janklin, when he started his channel, he started out with a video that looks like you've had a little bit of shed time.
Oh, yeah, dude. I went back and watched this after you sent me this, and I was like, oh, my God, dude, this is terrible. Why did I put this up? But yeah,
but it's great because just like at my channel, if you go over to Vapors TV where I used to do a lot of stuff, that first video just is awful, and you look back on it and so do I, and it's like, oh my God, it's so bad compared to what we're doing now.
So bad.
But
everybody's first video is awful.
Dude, it's terrible, bro. It's fucking cringeworthy.
He looks like two burn holes in a blanket. Like,
dude, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah. I think it was like some liquid courage-ish kind of thing, But anyway, so the trivia question goes along with that particular episode. So I want to know what RDA was Frames using in that episode, and you've got to be specific. You can't just be general. It's got to be
there is a specific.
What color it was,
yep.
And what makes it special. Like it's you could get 2 of the 3 right and not have it all. So I want to make this a little tougher because we're giving out like 1,000 milligram bags. These are a pound of candy that you get for being the winner of this. So this is definitely a good prize. So you need to know what kind of RDA it is,
right now.
What color it is, and then what makes it special. So that's the trivia question for this week.
All right, guys. So definitely take advantage of that. Like I said, leave your answer in the comments underneath the video. Of course, you're going to have to wait till this goes back up after we end the live. So, stay tuned for a second. You might have to just refresh a couple times, but leave it in the comments. That way everybody gets an opportunity to win. With all that, Corey, what you got coming up on your channel?
Yeah, we got another episode of What's in the News coming up. I know last week's we were kind of, I would say, a little off, but hopefully this week we'll be back full force.
A half hour of the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys looked rough. I was glad you cut it when you did.
Yeah, we'll be ready for you guys this week. We'll have a full show of conversation, funny topics. We're going to talk about what's going on with HR 2339. Full show ahead of you guys. So, yeah, stay tuned for Wednesday.
All right. So with all of that, it is time for our ending segment. I don't have a bumper for this yet, but don't worry, one is coming very soon. It is time for Dan's Dad Joke of the Week.
All right, it's gonna get a little raunchy here. This is my tribute to Mark Clough. He was a little dirty, as everyone knows, so naughty. So here we go. What's the difference between a pickpocket and a peeping Tom? One snatches your watch, the other watches your snatch. Ba-dum-dum.
Okay. That one was definitely Mark approved for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So with all that, guys, thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us here. If you guys have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you guys get notified when we go live next week. Same time, same place, every Monday right here on the Vaping with the Ohmies channel, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Of course, huge shout-outs go to all of our amazing sponsors, Rescued E-Liquid, OPMH Project, and of course, Texas Candy Caviar and Anthony Ramella himself. Of course, make sure you guys, write your emails, call your representatives, do your part. We guys remember to stay vigilant. If you're on Twitter, make sure you stay active. Share any links that you guys can see, any good ones, that is. Get that hashtag #NoWayPMTA hashtag. Just let's get it trending, guys. Let's make it happen. And with all that, you can catch us here next week. As far as my channel, unfortunately, no video went up today, but I'm hoping to get one up for you guys on Wednesday. And of course, we're back for a brand new episode of The Green Room. And there is a brand new Shed Time podcast episode up as well. It just, we're back. We're doing a weekly podcast now, guys. Instead of the bi-weekly thing, every Sunday, you'll be getting a Shed Time podcast from now on. So definitely stay tuned for that. You can check it out over there on SoundCloud. And with all that being said, we're going to end this as we always do, sending out all those positive vibes. Crisp by fives, and yeah, let's just vape on, Ohmies.
Warlocks up if you got them.
Wicking mine.
Warlock mods forever.